For years, I kept a second life my spouse never knew about.
When you go that close to the edge, you realize how fragile life is. I wasn't supposed to survive that night, but here I am.
They say when you die, your life flashes before your eyes. That is not what happened to me. Instead, I saw my marriage in a way I never could have imagined. And it broke me. My name is Olivia Grace Brennan. I am 33 years old. I died for 19 minutes on October 14th, 2022, and in those minutes, I saw the spiritual cost of what I thought I had hidden. What I am about to tell you is not easy, but it is the truth. I had been married to Daniel for 11 years. We had 2 daughters. Emma was 8. Sophie was 6. We lived in a quiet suburb in Brisbane, the kind of neighborhood where everyone knew each other's names and waved from their driveways. We went to church every Sunday. I volunteered at the school canteen. Daniel worked hard, so hard, as a fly-in fly-out worker at a mine up north. 2 weeks on site, 1 week home. It was brutal, but it paid well. We had a mortgage. We had stability. To everyone around us, we looked fine. But I was lonely. Not the kind of loneliness you can explain at a dinner party. Not the kind you complain about to your friends over coffee. It was deeper than that. It was the kind that settles into your bones when you wake up alone for the 10th morning in a row. When you eat dinner with your daughters and realize you have not had an adult conversation in days. When you lie in bed at night and the house is so quiet you can hear your own heartbeat. And you wonder if anyone really sees you anymore. I told myself it was normal. That every FIFO wife felt this way. That I just needed to be stronger. So I joined an online support group. A Christian forum for spouses of mining workers. Women who understood what it was like to parent alone for weeks at a time. Women who knew the ache of loving someone who was always leaving. That is where I met him. I will not say his name. It does not matter now. But at the time, it mattered more than I want to admit. It started innocently. A comment on a post I made about feeling invisible. He responded with kindness, with understanding. We started messaging privately about faith. About how hard it was to stay connected to God when life felt so isolating. He was a FIFO husband himself. His wife worked long hours as a nurse. He understood loneliness too. And slowly, the conversations changed. We started talking about everything. Our childhoods. Our dreams. The parts of our marriages that felt broken. I told him things I had never told Daniel. Not because Daniel would not listen, but because I had convinced myself he would not understand. This man, he understood. Or at least, I thought he did. I knew it was wrong. Every time I checked my phone before I checked on my daughters in the morning. I knew. Every time I deleted our conversation thread before Daniel came home. I knew. Every time I felt a rush of excitement seeing his name on my screen instead of my husband's. I knew. But I told myself it was not cheating. We had never met. We had never touched. We lived in different states. It was just friendship. Support. A safe place to be honest. Except it was not safe. It was poison. And I was drinking it willingly. The lies became routine. Daniel would call from the site, tired and covered in dust, asking about my day. I would smile into the phone and tell him about the girls' school projects, about the groceries I bought, about the neighbor's new dog. But I would not tell him about the hour I spent that afternoon messaging another man. About how I had laughed at his jokes. About how I had shared a fear I had never told my own husband. I became 2 people. The wife and mother everyone saw. And the woman on the screen, who felt alive in a way I had not felt in years. Daniel would come home after his 2 weeks away, exhausted and smelling like diesel and red dirt. He would hug the girls, kiss me on the forehead, collapse on the couch, and fall asleep within minutes. And I would sit across from him, phone in my lap, typing to someone else. I started going to bed early, not because I was tired, but because I wanted privacy. I would lie in the dark, the glow of my phone screen lighting my face, and I would talk to him. About my day, about my frustrations, about the parts of my heart I had stopped sharing with Daniel. The guilt was constant. It sat in my chest like a stone. I could not pray without feeling it. I could not look at Daniel without feeling it. I could not tuck my daughters into bed and kiss their foreheads without feeling it. But I did not stop. There were close calls, moments where I almost got caught. Emma walked into my room once while I was typing. I locked my phone so fast I fumbled it. She asked who I was talking to. I said a friend from church. She smiled and left. And I sat there, trembling, hating myself. Daniel started noticing. Small things at first. He would ask why I was always on my phone. I would laugh it off. Tell him it was just the mums group chat planning the school fair. He would nod. But I could see the question in his eyes. I avoided intimacy. Not just physical, but emotional. When Daniel tried to talk to me about his work, about how hard the shifts were, about how much he missed us, I would give him surface answers. I was there, but I was not present. And he knew it. One night, he asked me directly, "Are you okay, Liv? You seem distant." I looked at him. My husband. The father of my children. The man who worked underground in dangerous conditions so we could have a life. And I lied to his face. "I am fine, Dan. Just tired." He believed me. Or maybe he wanted to. Either way, he let it go. But I was not fine. I was falling apart. I could not stop messaging him. I could not stop the thrill I felt when I saw his name. I could not stop the way my heart raced when he told me I was beautiful, that I was strong, that I was seen. I knew it was an emotional affair. I knew it was betraying my vows. I knew I was choosing another man over my husband every single day. But I convinced myself I could control it. That I would stop eventually. That no one was getting hurt because no one knew. I was wrong. Because on a Sunday afternoon in October, Daniel came home early. I was in the bedroom when I heard the front door open. My heart stopped. Daniel was not supposed to be home until Wednesday. It was Sunday. He had 3 more days on site. I was sitting on the edge of our bed, phone in my hand, typing a message, telling him about how lonely I felt, how much I wished someone understood me the way he did. My thumb hovered over the send button. Then I heard Daniel's voice. "Liv? Girls? I am home." Panic flooded my body like ice water. I locked my phone, shoved it under the pillow, stood up too fast. My hands were shaking. Emma and Sophie screamed with joy. I heard their feet pounding down the hallway. "Daddy! Daddy!" They crashed into him. I could hear his laugh. Tired but warm. He had come home early to surprise us. And I was terrified. I walked out of the bedroom, forcing a smile. Daniel looked up at me from the floor where he was kneeling, arms wrapped around both girls. His face was covered in dust. His work boots were still on. He must have driven straight from the airport. "Surprise," he said, grinning. I should have run to him. I should have been overjoyed. But all I could think about was the phone under the pillow. The message I had almost sent. The conversation thread I had not deleted yet. "You are home early," I said. My voice sounded strange. Flat. His smile faltered. "Yeah, we finished ahead of schedule." Thought I would come home and spend some time with my girls. He kissed Emma and Sophie on their heads, then stood. Walked toward me. Surprise you. He leaned in to kiss me. I turned my head slightly. His lips brushed my cheek instead of my mouth. I saw the confusion in his eyes. But he did not say anything. Not yet. The girls wanted to show him everything. Their drawings. Their school projects. The new trampoline we had bought for the backyard. Daniel followed them outside, glancing back at me once. I stayed inside. Told him I needed to finish the laundry. But I went straight to the bedroom. Grabbed my phone. Opened the message thread. My fingers hovered over the delete button. I could not do it. Instead, I sent the message. Told him Daniel was home early. That I could not talk for a while. He responded immediately. I understand. I will miss you. I stared at those words. I will miss you. And I felt something crack inside my chest. I deleted the conversation. Put my phone in my pocket. Took a breath. Walked back outside. But Daniel was already standing in the doorway, watching me. Who were you talking to? He asked quietly. The girls were still jumping on the trampoline. Laughing. Oblivious. No one, I said. Just checking messages. You have been on your phone a lot lately. It is just the school group chat, Dan. You know how the mums are. He did not move. Did not blink. Just stood there, arms crossed, staring at me like he was trying to solve a puzzle. Can I see your phone? He asked. My blood went cold. What? Your phone. Can I see it? Why would you need to see my phone? Because you just lied to me. The air between us went sharp. The girls' laughter felt distant. Everything slowed down. I did not lie to you, Daniel. Then show me. My heart was slamming against my ribs. I could feel the phone in my pocket like it weighed 1,000 pounds. I had deleted the thread. But what if I missed something? What if there was a notification? What if he saw his name? You do not trust me? I asked, voice rising. After 11 years, this is what you think of me? I did not say I do not trust you. I am asking to see your phone. No. The word came out harder than I meant it to. Sharper. Defensive. Daniel's face changed. The confusion turned into something else. Hurt. And anger. Why not live? Because it is mine. Because you do not get to just demand things from me like I am a child. I am not demanding. I am asking. And the fact that you will not show me tells me everything I need to know. You do not know anything, I snapped. Then prove it. We were standing in the kitchen now. The girls had come inside, sensing the shift in the air. Emma was holding Sophie's hand. Both of them were staring at us with wide, frightened eyes. Mummy? Sophie whispered. I could not look at her. Daniel stepped closer. His voice dropped. Low. Dangerous. Who is he, Olivia? My throat closed. There is no one. Do not lie to me. I am not lying. Then why will you not show me your phone? Because you are being ridiculous. Am I? His voice cracked. Am I ridiculous for noticing that my wife has not looked me in the eyes in months? That she goes to bed early every night I am home? That she flinches when I try to touch her? That she is always on her phone but never tells me what she is doing? Tears burned my eyes. I could not speak. Who is he, Liv? There is no one, I said again. But my voice broke. Daniel's jaw tightened. He looked at me like he did not recognize me. Like I was a stranger standing in his kitchen wearing his wife's face. I have given you everything, he said quietly. I work in the dark. Underground. Away from you and the girls for weeks at a time. I do it because I love you. Because I want to give you a good life. And this This is what I come home to. Dan, just tell me the truth. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. But the words would not come. Instead, my chest tightened. My vision blurred. The room tilted. I tried to take a breath, but my lungs would not expand. My hands went numb. I reached for the counter but missed. My knees buckled. Liv? Daniel's voice sounded far away. I hit the floor. The tiles were cold against my cheek. I could hear the girls screaming. Could hear Daniel shouting my name. Could hear him on the phone with emergency services. But I could not move. Could not breathe. Could not speak. My heart was racing. And then it was slowing, and then it stopped. The last thing I heard was Daniel screaming my name. Then, silence. I was not in my body anymore. That was the first thing I understood. I was above it. Floating. Weightless. Looking down at the kitchen floor where my body lay crumpled like a broken doll. Daniel was on his knees beside me, hands on my chest, pressing down hard. Counting. His face was red, wet with tears. The girls were huddled in the corner, sobbing into each other. I tried to speak, tried to tell them I was okay, but no sound came. And then, I started to move. Not by choice. I was being pulled. Away from the ceiling. Away from my family. Away from everything I knew. The kitchen faded. The sounds of Daniel's voice, the girls crying, the distant wail of sirens, all of it became muffled. Distant. Like I was sinking underwater. But I was not sinking. I was rising. Or falling. I could not tell the difference anymore. Darkness wrapped around me. Thick. Warm. Heavy. It pressed against my chest like a weight I could not shake. I tried to push it away, but it clung to me. It knew me. And somehow, I knew it too. This was not peace. This was not the light people talked about. This was something else. I felt myself land. My feet touched something solid. The weightlessness vanished. Gravity returned. But it was wrong. Too heavy. Like the air itself was pressing down on me. I opened my eyes. I was standing on a walkway. It glowed faintly beneath my feet, red and orange like cooling lava, pulsing with a slow, rhythmic heat. The air was warm. Not burning, but oppressive. It pushed down on my shoulders, my chest, my lungs. Every breath felt like effort. Around me, shadows moved. Figures. People. Bent under invisible burdens. Heads down. Silent. They did not look at me. Did not acknowledge me. Just kept walking. Slow. Purposeful. Like they had been walking forever. I turned in a circle, trying to understand where I was. The walkway stretched in both directions, disappearing into a dim, red haze. There were no walls. No sky. Just endless, oppressive space. And then I saw it. Ahead of me. In the center of the walkway. A bed. My bed. I recognized the frame. The white quilt. The pillows Daniel and I had bought together years ago. But it was wrong. It was split down the middle. A deep crack running from headboard to footboard. And inside that crack, embers glowed. Soft. Pulsing. Like something alive was burning beneath the surface. My legs moved without permission. I walked toward it. Each step felt heavier than the last. As I got closer, I saw more. Chains. Dozens of them. Hanging in the air around the bed. Not attached to anything. Just suspended. Floating. Waiting. And then I felt it. My wrists. I looked down. Metal bands wrapped around them. Cold. Tight. And from those bands, chains extended. Thin at first. Then thicker. leading to the bed, to the crack, to the glowing embers inside. I pulled. The chains rattled, tightened, pulled back. I tried again, harder, but they would not break. And then I understood. These were not chains holding me. These were chains I had made. Each one represented something. A lie, a deleted message, a moment I chose him over Daniel, a night I went to bed early just to talk to someone else. Every time I gave my heart away in pieces, I fell to my knees. The walkway burned beneath me, but I did not care. "I am sorry," I whispered. "I am so sorry." But no one answered. I looked up at the bed again, and this time I saw something else. On the pillow, my wedding ring. It sat there, glowing, not with light, with heat, red hot, like it had been pulled from a forge. I reached for it. My hand hovered over it. I could feel the heat radiating from it even from a distance. And then I saw the messages. They appeared on the walls around me, projected like light on smoke, scrolling, endless. Every message I had ever sent him, thousands of them, words I had typed in secret, words I had shared with someone who was not my husband. "Good morning. I was thinking about you. I wish you were here. He does not understand me like you do. I feel more myself with you than I do with him." Each message flickered, glowed, then faded into the next. I could not look away. I could not close my eyes. I was forced to see it all. Every word, every confession, every betrayal. And then, I saw something that made my heart stop. A rope, glowing like embers, wrapped around my chest, around my heart, tight, burning. I looked down. It was there, real, tangible. The other end stretched into the distance, disappearing into the red haze. A soul tie. I grabbed it, tried to pull it off, but it tightened, burned, seared into my skin. "No," I gasped. "No, no, no." I pulled harder. The rope dug deeper. The pain was unbearable. And then, a voice. "This is what you built, Olivia." I froze. I turned toward the voice, my entire body trembling. A figure stood before me. Not close, but not distant either. Surrounded by light, but not the kind that blinds. This light revealed. It exposed. It pulled back every curtain I had ever hidden behind. I could not see a face, but I felt the presence. Holy, ancient, heartbroken. "This is what you built, Olivia," the voice said again. Calm, steady, not angry, but grieved. I looked down at the rope around my heart, at the chains on my wrists, at the bed cracked and glowing behind me. I did not mean to," I whispered. "Yes, you did." The words hit me like a blow, because they were true. "Every word you gave him was a word stolen from your covenant," the voice continued. "Every message, every confession, every piece of your heart you shared in secret. You knew what you were doing, and you chose it anyway." Tears burned my eyes. I shook my head, but I could not deny it. "I was lonely," I said. My voice cracked. Daniel was always gone. I felt invisible. I just needed someone to see me." "He saw you." The presence gestured toward the bed. And suddenly I saw Daniel. Not physically, but in memory. Projected around me like light through glass. I saw him waking up at 4 in the morning to drive to the airport. Exhausted. Sore. But going anyway. I saw him underground in the dark, drilling through rock, breathing dust, risking his life every single day. I saw him on video calls with the girls, smiling even though he was homesick. I saw him coming home, collapsing on the couch, too tired to even eat. But still asking me about my day, still trying to connect. And I saw myself, sitting across from him, phone in my lap, eyes on the screen, barely listening. He saw you, the voice said again, but you stopped seeing him. I covered my face with my hands. The chains rattled. I did not know it would become this, I sobbed. I thought I could stop. I thought it was not real because we never met. I thought. You thought you could divide your heart and call it harmless. The words pierced me. Emotional intimacy outside marriage is spiritual adultery, Olivia. You gave to another man what belonged to your husband. Not your body, but your soul. And that is covenant breaking. The rope around my heart tightened. I gasped, fell forward onto my hands and knees. I am sorry, I cried. I am so sorry. I know. The voice softened, just slightly. But sorrow is not enough. Repentance requires turning, requires change, requires choosing the covenant you made, even when it is hard, even when you are lonely, even when you feel unseen. I looked up through my tears. The light around the figure pulsed. Warm, not condemning, but truthful. Marriage is not a suggestion, the voice said. It is a binding spiritual agreement before me. When you spoke your vows, you entered into covenant. And covenant is not broken without consequence. I understood now. This place, these chains, this bed, this rope, it was not punishment. It was revelation. It was showing me what I had done in the spiritual realm, what I had built with my choices. What happens now? I whispered. The figure stepped closer. The light intensified. And for the first time, I felt warmth that did not burn. I felt presence that did not accuse. You will return, the voice said. Not because you deserve it, but because your daughters need their mother. And your husband deserves the truth. The rope around my heart began to loosen. Slowly, painfully, like peeling away scar tissue. When you go back, you will tell him everything. You will end what you started. You will rebuild what you broke. It will not be easy. It will not be quick. But if you choose it, truly choose it, restoration is possible. The chains on my wrists began to crack. One link at a time. Do you understand? I nodded, tears streaming down my face. Yes. Then go. The light exploded. Blinding. All-consuming. I felt myself being pulled upward. Violently. The walkway disappeared beneath me. The bed. The chains. The rope. All of it shattered into light. And then, pain. Unbearable, searing pain in my chest. I gasped, choked, coughed. Air flooded my lungs like fire. Voices. Loud, frantic, beeping machines. Blinding white lights overhead. I blinked. Everything was blurry. Shapes moving around me. Hands on my body. Pressure on my chest. She is back. We have a pulse. I tried to speak, but my throat was raw. I coughed again. Someone put an oxygen mask over my face. Olivia. Olivia, can you hear me? I turned my head. A paramedic. Young. Concerned. I nodded weakly. You are okay. You are going to be okay. We are taking you to the hospital. But I was not looking at him anymore. I was looking past him, to the corner of the room. Daniel. He was standing against the wall, arms wrapped around Emma and Sophie. His face was red, swollen, tear-streaked. The girls were clinging to him, sobbing into his chest. Our eyes met, and I saw it. The fear, the confusion, the heartbreak. He did not know if I was going to make it. He did not know what had just happened. But he was there, holding our daughters, keeping them together. Even after everything, I started to cry. Not from pain, from shame, from the weight of what I had almost lost. The paramedics lifted me onto a stretcher, wheeled me out of the house. Daniel followed, carrying Sophie, holding Emma's hand. He climbed into the ambulance with me, sat beside me, did not say a word, just held my hand. And I did not deserve it. At the hospital, they ran tests, scans, monitored my heart. The doctor said it was a severe panic attack that triggered a cardiac event. That I was lucky to be alive. That if Daniel had not started CPR immediately, I would not have made it. Lucky. I did not feel lucky. I felt broken. They kept me overnight for observation. Daniel stayed. Sent the girls home with his mother. Sat in the chair beside my bed. Silent. Staring at the wall. I knew he was waiting. Waiting for me to explain. Waiting for the truth. And I owed him that. When the nurse left and we were finally alone, I took a breath. My hands were shaking. Dan, I whispered. He looked at me. His eyes were hollow. Empty. There was someone, I said. My voice cracked. Online. For 3 years. I met him in a support group. We talked every day. I shared things with him I should have shared with you. I gave him parts of me that were not mine to give. I had an emotional affair. And I am so sorry. He did not move. Did not blink. Just stared at me like I was speaking a language he did not understand. You. His voice was barely a whisper. You what? I know, I said, tears streaming down my face. I know. There is no excuse. I was lonely. I felt invisible. But that does not make it right. It does not change what I did. I broke our vows. I broke us. Daniel stood up, walked to the window, put his hands on the glass. His shoulders were shaking. 3 years? He asked. Yes. 3 years you have been lying to me. Yes. He turned around, and the look on his face destroyed me. Did you love him? No, I said immediately. No. I thought I did. I thought what I felt was real. But it was not love. It was selfishness. It was me choosing comfort over covenant. It was me running from the hard parts of our marriage instead of fighting for it. Did you meet him? No. Never. It was only online. Messages. Calls sometimes. But never in person. Does that make it better? His voice was rising now. Does that make it hurt less? No, I sobbed. No, it does not. He sank back into the chair, put his head in his hands. We sat in silence for a long time. The machines beeped. The hallway outside was quiet. I do not know if I can forgive you, he finally said. I know. I do not know if I can trust you again. I know. I do not even know if I want to try. I understand. He looked up at me, and for the first time, I saw the man I married. Not the one I had stopped seeing, but the man who had loved me through everything, who had worked himself to exhaustion to give me a life, who had come home early to surprise me, and I had betrayed him. When I died, I said quietly I saw something. I cannot explain it, but I saw the cost, the spiritual cost of what I did. I saw the chains I made, the covenant I broke, and I saw you. How much you sacrificed, how much you loved me, and I realized. I stopped choosing you. I stopped seeing you, and I am so sorry, Daniel. I am so sorry. He wiped his eyes, took a shaky breath. What do you want, Liv? I want to make this right, I said. I ended it. Before I collapsed, I told him it was over. I deleted everything. I will give you access to everything. My phone, my computer, my accounts. No passwords. No secrets. I will go to counseling. We will go to counseling. I will do whatever it takes. Because I do not want to lose you. I do not want to lose us. Daniel nodded slowly, but he did not say anything. The Bible says in Hebrews 13, verse 4, marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure, for God will judge the adulterer and all the sexually immoral. I thought because I never touched him, I was not an adulterer. But I was. In my heart, in my soul, I gave away what was sacred. And God showed me the truth before it was too late. It has been 2 years since that day. Daniel and I are still together. But our marriage is not what it was. It is different. It is rebuilding, brick by brick. Some days are good. Some days he still looks at me and I see the hurt, the doubt. And I do not blame him. But we are choosing each other. Every single day. Even when it is hard. If you are in an emotional affair right now, if you are giving your heart to someone who is not your spouse, please hear me. It is not innocent. It is not harmless. It is covenant breaking. And the cost is real. End it. Confess it. Fight for your marriage. Before you are standing on that walkway, staring at the chains you made, realizing you destroyed something sacred. Do not wait until you die to see the truth. Choose it today.